So you're working on this stuff. Chris Murphy comes up to you. I haven't read his book yet, Bigfoot Film Journal. So Chris approaches you to do some work for him with the footage to get. Does he want stills? What does Chris want for his book from you? How does that relationship start?
Oh, you're talking about the tracking dog film?
Yeah, well, the Bigfoot Film Journal book. Yeah,
gotcha. Gotcha. He told me that he wanted stills for publication from several people on there, and one of them was Robert Titmus, which, you know, it became kind of a stink because people say, well, that's not Robert Titmus, but he thought it was. And also, you know, the ladies down there at the China Flat Museum there in Willow Creek thought it was Robert Titmus too, and they knew him well. Right. I got to looking, and there seems to be two different people. I mean, just looking at them, they're similar looking, but one looks a little older.
Now, so Titmus was, I think, 5'5", and then I think you're talking about Keith Shirazi, right? Who was
Keith Shirazi, right, exactly.
Which was he was the supposedly the Kent Aviation pilot that flew those guys into Blue Creek.
He probably was. I mean, right. I don't dispute any of that.
Okay, so back to Chris Murphy. I didn't mean to cut you off there. So he asked you to do some stills for his book. Go ahead. Bring us right along.
I did. They had to be above 300 DPI, and you know some different constraints, and he needed somebody to do that for him. So I did that for him. But Chris Murphy is. I have to say this about Chris Murphy. You know, he's probably responsible for bringing those old films back. You know, because he took some personal chances. You know, and my hat's off to him.
Now, did he get the rights from the Patterson family, or where were the rights? Who did Chris obtain the rights for this stuff, or was it you?
Well, Chris was no stranger to this film, and he was no stranger to the DeHendens. He was Renee's former business manager.
Okay.
So, you know, he had connections there with those people.
Okay, so you're working, doing this stuff for Chris. You're putting in God knows how many hours, because I've looked at the footage that you've done, and I've seen the enormous amount of time that you put into that stuff. When did you start seeing things when did you start forming your theory? Because was David Paulides involved in any of this stuff? It sounds like he was kind of stirring the pot a little bit, and then dipped out. If you give me a timeline here of events in broad strokes?
Well, I mean, David Paulides, you know, he comes in later. People, when they start looking into it on their own, you know, their research is their own research.
Right, of course.
You know? As far as a theory, my theory was mostly driven by information that I got from Miss Patterson. And then when I saw that tracking dog video, it was sort of similar to what she was talking about. So you know, a theory is just a theory. It is not. I don't have any hard evidence. I don't even have evidence that Robert Gimlin and Roger Patterson even took that film. They're not on it.
Well, you're talking about the one with Snowflake, the dog?
The Patterson film.
Oh, okay. I just want to give
you what I mean. It's a lot of vagaries.
Well, I mean, if I film something and I can't be on the film and shoot it.